So, this is gonna be very short. And honestly, just gonna give you guys some actual real advice that anyone that's watching this video can honestly take. Anyone, no matter if you're already making money online or you're not making money online or you're trying to make money online, it doesn't matter. Right? This is gonna be a very short video for honestly anyone that's trying to get into business or just trying to excel and grow their business, right? So if you really want to make money, right? If you really want to make money, you have to understand you get paid because you're solving a big enough problem, right? That's the only way you can make money. Learning to solve a problem, right? And the bigger the problem you're solving, the more money you're gonna make. Like you just have to really understand that is that people get paid because they, are solving problems. So that's the main thing you also have to realize when you're trying to make money online or you want to go far in life or XYZ. And honestly, like the main reason why most people honestly don't, make money or don't hit their goals or essentially whatever, honestly, the main thing is going to be like you have the vehicle, you have the problem you're trying to solve, but also comes down to like how bad, I guess, you want to solve that problem or how bad you want to change your own situation, you know, essentially what I'm trying to say here. Like for example, so at first, I'm gonna give you guys a full essential breakdown of my whole timeline of essentially everything I've done, right? Just so you have a clear understanding. So when I was in high school, um, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I came from the ground up. I grew up in the slums, grew up in the mud, or whatever. Like I lived in a nice house. I moved here from Africa in 2014, and I'm very grateful for that. Like Alhamdulillah, it sounds like probably probably the biggest blessing God could ever gave me. I'm not trying to shame on Africa. Like there's nothing wrong with Africa, but there's just a lot of opportunities here outside of Africa. So I was 10. I got a call from my dad. We're moving here. Great, amazing, and moved here with my dad. Obviously, my dad was already making good money. He's making, you know, six figures a year, like multiple six figures a year at his job. But so I obviously, I grew up in a house. I always had food. I was able to, eat whatever I want. Not like whatever at a restaurant, but like I was able to eat, essentially whatever I want. I had clothes whenever I want, and essentially all that type of stuff. But there's one thing that I never had is that even though my dad had money, he will never just spoil me. Like it's like a, hey dad, can I get this? And he'll buy it for me. Is that the number one lesson that my dad has taught me since I was a kid was that if you want to get something, if you want something in life that you want, you have to go out and get it yourself. And that nothing is going to be handed to you. And that's probably one of the biggest lessons that my dad could ever give to me ever in my life. That's probably the best thing that probably the best gift my dad has ever gave to me in high school in freshman year. In school, there's all these kids that buy, nice clothes, nice shoes, just like the Yeezys, like a new trend. Even though it's like $200, like my dad can afford that, but he would not buy me that just because he feels like if you want that shoe, you have to go out and get it yourself. You know, like he would provide me if anything I needed, like if I needed food, anything that's like essential, that's no issue. But anything that's a want, never ever gave it to me. So in high school, I asked my dad for $100, $100, and with the $100 he gave me, I decided to start an ecom brand, right? Ecom store. I went on YouTube, found an ecom store I can start, blah blah. Start an ecom store or essentially whatever, and I blew through $100, and I went down to broke, and I had $0. Now he gave me that $100 not because of he gave it because he understood I'm trying to I'm trying to actually listen to his advice and try to do something with it. I blew through $100. And then my dad gave me $200 more. Um, this is when I want to start shoe reselling, and that's probably my first ever venture where essentially I made money off that. It wasn't anything crazy. I wasn't making like crazy money, but as a high schooler, making 2 3 grand a month, that's pretty solid. That sounds pretty solid. Like as a high schooler, especially like in my situation where I had no bills and food was always put on the table. Like essentially everything I made was just money I could spend on myself. So I had that all through high school. Essentially, I did the same thing, just resold stuff. got through that, and then I got to college. Had a small agency that I ran up. I made a little bit of money off that. And I bought a car, my first ever car. I blew my whole bank account for that car. Like actually, I remember exactly. I had $11,000 in my bank account, and I bought a car for $8,000 after taxes and registration. I was on a 2K left in the car. I bought a tune and everything, down $1,000 in my name, right, on just that car alone. It was a BMW 235, like a '09, fucking old. Anyways, but essentially, when I went down to like my last thousand, um, I essentially, I made a little bit more money like over time, but then I started an agency. I moved on like it was like a imagine just one night I wake up like yo, I gotta lock in, I gotta actually make money now. So I moved down to Miami, and I'm gonna get to the whole point of the story. So like, because I know you guys probably like, why is telling me all this? But I moved down to Miami, and essentially had a few $1,000 left in my account, and essentially I had to live off that until I made money. And I didn't move to like Miami Brickell. No, like I moved to it was like in like Opaloka. I was like a college, like a whole like it's in like college area. It's like probably 25 minutes from Miami. Anyways, um, now I moved there, and a good friend of mine is named Caleb. It's still my best friend to this day. But I told him to start this agency, and for 4 months straight, we ate shit. We that ass ate shit. Now, what I want you guys to understand in those 4 months is we did a lot of people that other people were not willing to do, right? There's a lot of people here that blame the circumstance on why they're not able to make money, right? You blame, your leads, your this, not having money for this, not having money for ads, not having money for this. You blame those circumstances for you to not be able to make money. Now, in those 4 months, you have to realize we did not have money, right? We didn't really have money. I only had money in my savings to live, so I couldn't really use that money. But even though like I used it a little bit, but in those moments, we don't have money to go ahead and actually run ads or do SMS blasts or essentially whatever we're doing. So guess what the fuck we did? Because we had to pay for ads, go high level, all those stuff. So guess what the fuck we did? We'll wake up at literally 8 a.m. every day from 9 a.m. all the way to 7 p.m. We'll outreach. From 7 p.m. to 8:30, we'll go to the gym. From 8:30 to 1 a.m., we're DoorDash. Make 50 to 60 bucks a day just to go ahead and be able to afford SMS blasts and all this type of stuff, right? Because people blame the situation where like, oh, I can't afford this and this and this. I can't afford this and this and this. Oh, blah 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 blah. Is that you can't blame your circumstance, and if you really want to change and make a living or change your life, you have to take your own accountability and use the resources that you have. Everyone that you see that has made it or has made billions of dollars, millions of dollars, $100 million, blah blah blah. It's because they used the resources that they had. It's not like he was like, oh, I don't have any more money, or my dad won't do this for me, so I'm just gonna quit. You know, use the money you got, like use your resources that you have at the moment to try to make it out. You have a different timeline than everybody else, right? Because I don't know what the fuck's going on now on IG where everyone's saying, oh, you gotta get rich in 6 months. Everyone has a different timeline, right? Like I try to make big money for a while and I never made big money. You know, like even to this day, I haven't even made big money because big money to me is not 100K a month. It's like exiting a whole company. That's big money to me. Like big money, good money is like exiting a whole company or a company that's doing millions of dollars a month. Like a full blown empire with like 50, like a team of 50 plus. That's what I call actual company. Anything under that, honestly, is just just a cash grab. You're trying to get like trying to get cash, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Right now, I'm in the pay per call space, and to be frank, I'm actually getting into the e-com space at the same time. I have a good friend of mine that is very smart in the e-com space, and we're essentially going to partner up to start just a small brand. Essentially, obviously, like we made sure that's not going to take up too much of my time on the pay per call space because obviously I do want to obviously I actually want to go ahead and basically essentially take over on the space still. But the whole more of the story, the whole more of the story is that why did we make money, right? I mean, why did I even make any type of money with my online business? So you guys can understand. On the first thing I did on shoe reselling, I sold shoes, right? I resold products that were hard to get, right? Because I can't like for example, I can't resell this SD card. Like, I mean, I probably like it's a SD card. I can't really resell it, or like this key or something like that. Like, I mean, maybe the car it's possible for me to resell it, but I can't resell those things. What I did is I bought something that was limited, and then now that I have it in my hand, no one else can get it, so I can sell it at a premium price at the market value of it. My agency, I sold leads, right? I sold leads primarily, but it's like, ad services, it's like an SMMA. And essentially, this guy has a problem. He needs leads, and I'm solving it by me running his ads for me to get more leads. So I have the right for me to charge him, and he will pay because I'm solving a problem to him, right? I left the agency space to go and start a pay-per-call business, right? And now I'm in the insurance space, and I'm serving final expense agents, right? And I'm about to get into the whole ACA and essentially um, Medicare. But essentially, the whole point is that those people, right? What problem do they have? They need good leads, and I'm solving that by giving them good, actual good lead, like good phone calls for them to actually going to receive for them to make more money, right? And the problem in insurance is a lot bigger than problem in the SMMA. That's why I'm going to make a lot more money in the insurance space. That's exactly why I am in the insurance space right now. Even the ecom store that we're starting right now is going to solve a big problem. I'm not going to reveal what the problem is at all, but essentially, that's the whole thing about it. Now, I mean, the whole econ brand, essentially, but solving a problem is what's going to really make you money if you want to start an actual business. If you really think about it, all the big companies, I want you to really think about it. All the big companies, why are they making money? Because they're solving problems. Why does ChatGPT make so much money? Because they're solving problems, a big problem. Like they're making lives easier by me be able to go on there ask any question. Nigga, to this day, I used ChatGPT 5 minutes ago. you know, is that it helps me. It helps me actually make more money. It actually helps me save time by not having to, do all this type of thing. When I can just ask a simple question, it'll be able to answer to me. So I will pay. I will gladly pay ChatGPT $20 a month every single month until I die. You know, just because it's solving a good enough problem for me, and it's solving a broad net of a problem, right? A broad net. So even though it's $20 a month, but there's 8 billion people in this world that all those 8 billion people could use. So all those 8 billion people could pay $20 a month. That's why they make so much money, But essentially, it's just solve a big problem and just fucking lock in. Honestly, like I know it sounds cliche, lock in, lock in, lock in, but so you just actually try your hardest at it. Use the resources that you have to actually try to make it and actually try to make that idea work and work on your own timeline, right? Work on your own timeline. Stop getting all this shiny object or stop, seeing this guy like, oh, this guy's saying he's in a penthouse, this and this and this. It doesn't fucking matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter, right? Even if it's the apartment that I'm in, to be honest, I don't really even care about it. It's just a fucking apartment. I think like I only did it just because fuck it, it was a good deal anyways. But this whole lifestyle shit is cool. Like the only thing I like to spend my money on is a fucking car, right? I mean, if I don't know if you guys know, but I have an M8, but it's the only thing I like to spend my money. Like I love cars. That's why I spend my money on like on cars. But everything else is just like just put your head down, use the resources that you have. Like even if you me like even me, I still uses the resources that I have. Yes, I'm more great. Like I'm grateful for the resources I have right now. I have more connections. I have more, I guess, capital to spend on something, so to get it started, or have the skills and knowledge that I built in the past few years for me to start, XYZ thing. But essentially, is that I'm using the resources that I have. That's why, like, have you guys ever heard the quote of it's harder to go from 0 to 100K than go to 100K to a million? It's actually true. I haven't gone to $1 million. I don't have $1 million, so I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, like it's definitely easier. But I definitely see why it's easier. Like I 100% see exactly why it's easier because of going from 0 to 100K. At zero, you have no idea what the fuck you're doing. You have no skills. You probably have no money. There's nothing wrong with that at all, by the way. But you probably have no money, and you're just trying to and you probably have no discipline. No hate. Like I'm not trying. Like there's nothing wrong with that. You build a discipline or a work ethic. That all comes all like it all comes. Like trust me. I've been sitting on this fucking chair since fucking um 8:30 MST. I wake up at 7 and I sit on. I try to be in the chair by 8 a.m. Essentially, I sit and I wake up, a shower and everything like that. I try to be on my seat, and I'm essentially here all day long. I only leave my crib now after around like maybe 6:30 because I'm in Ramadan, so I like to just go out, go get food, and I come back in, and I'm in the chair again. And now it's fucking 10:30 right now at night. I'm recording this video, and I'm probably gonna hop off, and I have a few things to do still, and then I'm gonna go to sleep. It's just a loop. But you know, it's it's literally just that. If you want to make money, just that. Like, this is the video that honestly anyone can honestly watch this and they'll be able to go and ask some tips for life. But enough yapping from this video. I know I kind of just yapped a lot, but essentially that's I kind of just want to get that out the way. But essentially, if you find this video valuable, go ahead and tap the subscribe button. I'm gonna try to post as many videos as I can. I'm gonna try to actually document everything. I kind of just want to post on YouTube, kind of build a small brand. But if you like me and if you want to see me build a whole empire, you can tap subscribe. And we'll see exactly where this goes. But appreciate watching this video.